guys, it's your girl KibachiBot, aka Chelsea, and I'm here bringing you another video. First things first, please forgive the eclectic outfit. I've been down to wear my two-piece crop top, oriental inspired get up. Tomorrow's Comic-Con here in Seoul, and I'm actually going to that with a friend of mine, so I'm trying on outfits that I want to wear tomorrow for it, and you can see my little oriental inspired hairstyle, yums, my little bow buns. Anyway, so this video has been requested by a subscriber of mine actually, and she commented on one of my videos asking me to make a video about what you should wear as an English teacher teaching here in South Korea. Yeah, definitely don't wear what I have on right now. Like, it's a midriff, it's showing my stomach, it's showing my piercing. Now, first things first, it really varies depending on what type of school you work at. Now, say for instance, for me in my case specifically, I work at a Hagwon, which is a private after school academy that the students go to and they learn English. Now, each private school will have their own set of rules, and that could include maybe you have to wear a specific uniform or, you know, dress more professionally than what other Hagwons will require of their teachers, etc., etc. That's all very specific to your school and your contract. Personally, for me, my school is very flexible and very down to earth. Like, they just care as long as the students are getting taught and that they're being, given good quality education for what their parents are paying for, then, that's one thing. And of course, you're supposed to have that level of professionalism where you don't just show up to work wearing any old thing necessarily. I'm not saying dress like a hoochie mama or something you would wear to the club on, a Friday night out in Hongdae or Gangnam or Itaewon or wherever you may be. And also on the other end of the spectrum is public schools. Now, public schools, I've heard, are actually either slack or kind of strict on what they require their teachers to wear, because if you teach kindy, which is like kindergarten age students, and basically work at like a kindergarten school or like a really early elementary school, then you can be more casual because you're going to be, sitting down with the kids, you're going to be playing with the kids, you're going to be goofing off with the kids. So it's usually a little bit more flexible. You can wear like jeans and a t-shirt, just more comfy clothes, as opposed to public middle schools and high schools that might require you to wear a certain uniform or dress attire, because once students get to that level in education system here in Korea, they are required to have to wear school uniforms, right? For me and my Hagwon, I typically wear a variety of things. Now, I kind of get away with bloody murder because I tested the waters first. Let me put it like that. And this is a tip. Probably my number one tip out of this whole video that I recommend for you guys is wherever you end up, whomever is your boss or whomever is over you that would dictate whether or not, you should go cover up more or, whatever you're wearing is wrong or right or whatever, test the waters with them. I'm not saying go full on out with like, a halter top or some pasties or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to wear like a skirt that isn't below knee length and it's a little bit above knee length, wear it one day with a nice modest blouse, make a nice full-on tailored look, and then see how your coworkers and or employers react to that first, and then go from there. That's what I did. Now, when I first moved here to work, it was dead winter. And it was cold as hell, which is an oxymoron, cold as hell. But no, it was cold, and I was layered up like a mother. So I had on blazers with sweaters with my preppy Oxford like collared shirts and my dress pants, or a nice fitted tailored kind of like, think J. Crew. Like, my personal style is very kind of preppy J. Crew to the other end of like urban, eclectic, whatever. And when I was dressing for school in the winter time, I wore a lot of blazer, nice dress slack combo, and some booties, or I would wear like the big fluffy scarves and a nice warm like Cotton On. Like I got a lot of my like sweaters before I moved here from Cotton On, so they're like the thick, you know, like bubbly sweaters and stuff, and they're really warm and comfortable. And my boss, you know, never had a problem with anything that I wore during the winter months. I dress more for practicality, so for warmth, and I tried to keep things stylish by, you know, keeping it nice fit, nice tailored look. Also, what I would point out to you guys is, for me, I am a huge shoe person. I love shoes. Shoes complement and can set a look. But here in Korea, when you go into your job, your employment, like you typically take off your shoes at the entryway and put them in a little shoe storage cubby area, and then put on the slippers that are designated for indoor wear. So you don't really have to worry about walking around with your outdoor shoes on inside your school necessarily, because you know you're not going to be wearing your outdoor shoes in. So the whole matchy, if you're running late one day and it's cold like it was when I was here and I was wearing snow boots but I had on, you know, like a really nice like blazer suit combo, then you know it doesn't matter because people aren't going to see your shoes necessarily, and you can just run in, throw on your slippers, and be good to go for the rest of the day while you're at work. Now, transitioning into the warmer months, what I did start doing is wearing like lighter, you know, fabrics, experimenting with different materials. But I would have on like a shorter like lacy blouse underneath. It's a trend here in Korea right now, and you would see a lot of women wearing it, and they consider it like dainty, like really girly and cute, and you can dress it up because women wear them with like high-waisted skirts, and they'll have like a tank top on underneath, and then it'll be like this lacy like shirt, long sleeve, quarter length sleeve, or short sleeve, different colors, different patterns, designs, and it's still considered for the most part appropriate. I know I've worn it, I've experimented and worn that to work, and my boss didn't say anything to me. Some of my co-teachers dress like that. And I think it's that idea that because of the old modesty issues here in Korea with exposing your like chest area and your collarbone, as long as you're like covered up in some sort of way, it's more tolerable. By having the tank top on underneath but like a lacy type of covering, it's like, oh, you're not totally exposed. You know, it's that sort of mentality that they have, which I think is really funny because I'm like, you can still see through and see that they're wearing a tank top underneath or a spaghetti strap shirt underneath or whatever the case may be. But whatever, that's something that Koreans do here. And also, I like to wear a lot of dresses because it's hot. I melt when I step outside my apartment, and I try to pick dresses that are going to be appropriate for work but also really comfortable and breathe. There's a picture of a dress I wore on one of my previous videos. It's an all-white dress. That's one where I had like a spaghetti strap white slip type thing underneath, and then there was like the dress part of it was actually like the lace, like all lace, and you just put that over your slip, and that was supposed to be a look easy. Now, I did wear a couple of dresses that were kind of on the shorter side, but I feel like when I'm sitting at my desk, like at work, I can get away with it because I'm sitting down, but when I stand up, it is, you know, like, I'm kind of pushing it because I am on the taller side, so whenever I buy and shop for clothes in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I can fit that. And then I get home and try it on, and I'm like, oh, this is very, very short on me, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I would recommend that you guys invest in a just like cover-ups, because if you want to wear like any type of spaghetti strap or like really short sleeve items, you can always just cover it up at work with a cover-up. And also a really great winter and summer pair of slacks or like dress pants, or kind of like a J. Crew fitted like slim leg pant. One of my favorite stores to shop at for kind of like nice fashionable business attire or business casual clothing is New York & Company. If you're familiar with that store in the States, it's called New York & Company. They have a lot of really cute tailor fitted slacks and like capris, even cute capri pants with a nice pop print on them. I like to play with colors, obviously. I love to play with patterns. So just because you're wearing something that's a little bit more business casual or like, you know, professional looking, doesn't mean that you still can't express your personality. I'll pair like a bright patterned pant with a solid colored blouse, and go to work like that, you know, and it'll be fine. So another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is hats. Now I know for my school, the students wear hats indoors, like the boys, they'll wear their baseball caps. I haven't, you know, heard anything in the policy about, you know, them or us as the teachers not being able to wear hats, because I've worn a hat to school. One of my co-teachers, when she's having a bad hair day, she always wears her hat to school. And I, you know, even have like my Supreme hat that I wear. Sucks. And I will put that on and wear that occasionally when it's really hot out and I'm trying to, you know, shade my giant forehead from getting burnt in the sun. But something cute like a small fedora or like a straw hat type of fedora, any of the like bucket hats. I know I've worn, like I just said, my Supreme hat, and I've been okay with that. For all of my ethnic brothers and sisters out there, wearing ethnic clothes, ethnic hair garments, and accessories or jewelry, okay? In one of my previous videos, I was wearing one of my like head wrap scarf things with the giant like knot in the front, and you know, that's pretty eccentric, of course, for foreign teachers to wear at work. And obviously I am a woman of color, so I express myself differently than some of my other foreign teacher counterparts may.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back.
I think my boss is a really great boss because he's accepting of that, and he's accepting of me for, you know, where I come from, my background. Not that I'm like super Afrocentric, but you know, like on days that I want to just wrap my hair up in a hair wrap, I'll do that, or like put my hair in a turban, I'll do that, and I'll go to work. And yeah, I have no problems out of it. The students, for the little kids, you know, like to roast me in class. Like they'll be like, oh, you got something on your head. but the older students, like, they don't care. All they care about is not having their phones taken away in class, you know, it's whatever. But I would say, again, test the waters, you know, start off small and work your way up to the more, you know, eccentric, eclectic things that might make your coworkers like, oh, yesterday your hair was straight, now you're here at work and your hair is curly, or it's an afro, or yeah, start small, work your way up. And you know, you can wear something like that and see if anybody says anything to you at work, like, oh, that's too dramatic, that's too much, we don't want you wearing that. Or if they don't say anything and they don't care about it, then going on about your business. Or a person who has tattoos and or body modifications or piercing. The way that you get around that is, for anything that is going to be considered an ultimate, like, oh no, that's way too eclectic to have at school, most likely are like the gauges. If you're somebody who has your ears like gauged, then if you are hired by whatever school hired you, most likely they'll have you put in the clear one, so it's as neutral as possible and it's not a distraction to the kids, as they would say, a distraction to the students. And really what that means is, if parents come into the school, or they're coming to pick up their kids, or they're having a meeting with the teachers, or you know, the boss or the principal or whatever, and they see you, they don't want to be like freaked out and be like, oh my god, that's who's teaching my child. You know, that's usually what the employers are most concerned about, is what the parents are going to think about you. Now, I will say, for me personally, since I've been living here in Korea and working here, all of my tattoos and body piercings I've gotten, I showed up to work and I was like, yeah, I got my nose pierced. And my boss was like, okay. And it's just a stud, you know, like I don't wear my septum or anything to work, but like my nose piercing is pretty moderate, and I think my boss was okay with that because it's on the smaller scale side. I don't wear too many things that I'll actually show my belly button piercing, but if I do have one, like a shorter blouse, like a crop top like this, to be honest with you, I have worn this blouse to work before, but what I did is I wore like a spaghetti strap jumpsuit underneath, so the pants part of it was like, you know, all the way up, and I did not have to worry about this showing, you know, any of my actual skin showing. So it looked cute, it worked out, and none of the students have ever seen my belly button piercing, which is what's most important. You know, you don't want to see that. And if you're, you know, gonna wear something smaller, like a smaller blouse that might reveal, just make sure you wear like a high-waisted skirt, high-waisted pants, or whatever the case may be, and you know, that way you'll still look tasteful. Now, in terms of tattoos, as you can see, I do have tattoos. I got these done, and I told my boss, like, hey, yeah, I'm getting tattoos done. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And then the next day I showed up after having like both of these done or whatever, and he was like, oh, snap, you meant you were getting them done like soon? And I was just like, yeah. And yeah, he was like, oh man, when I was younger, I wish I would have gotten a tattoo done. So I was like, okay, cool, he's not against it. So I do still wear like a cover up, or I'll try to wear like sleeves that will cover up majority of like at least these two tattoos, because they're kind of bigger. And if I am exposing my arms, then I'll wear, like I said earlier, like a type of blouse that has like the lacy part over it, so it's like a tank top underneath and then the lacy part. Now, I got away with wearing that at work, but you could still see my tattoos through it because it's just lace. You can still make out my tattoos, but I think my boss thought that that was okay because it was like you kind of got to squint to see the tattoos. And you know, as long as I'm like not like walking around flashing them off like, hey, look at me, tattoos. Yeah, then it's okay. Again, like I said, the #1 tip throughout all of this from my personal experiences has been to just test the waters first to see kind of like what you can get away with. Now, I don't want to be a bad influence on you guys and say like, come here, get your job, and then try and like bend the rules and get away with everything. No, don't do that. But, you know, I'm not saying don't try to express yourself. Don't try to, you know, completely change yourself and how you look just for your job necessarily. And, you know, just be conscientious of what type of tattoos you have and which ones that you might get away with exposing more so than others. If you have anything that might be offensive or that they might think is too offensive, then cover that one up the most. You know, have fun with how you dress, because I think if you're working with little kids, they really like to see how you switch things up. At least for me, that's how my students are. Even my boss has told me, he was like, you change your look every day you come into work. He was like, it's so exciting to see how you look when you come in. And I was like, you know, switch things up. I get into one mood one week, and then the next week I'm on to the next mood, and that reflects in how I style my hair and what I wear. So yeah. For all of my fellow English teachers out there already working here, comment in the section down below. Let me know what you wear. If anything I've said in this video is super wrong or super right, let me know. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. And if you have any additional questions, please do ask me also in the comment section down below, and I will expediently get back to you with an answer. I thank you so much for surviving through this video with me. And as always, like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Follow me on Instagram, and I love you guys so much. See ya!